And I think you should be fine now. I think you should be fine. Yes, you are fine. You know, after a while you get a hang of these things. So I must apologize. I had done my intro and so. But just to let you know, the show is here. Blessings, everybody. So let's get the show going now. So I've made the necessary adjustments. Thank you so much, because I wasn't, you know. All right. A lot going on. I have multiple things listening to just to check the audio. So I'm fine. Producer and presenter. So I'm also the tech person here as well. Good evening to you once again. Just in case you did not know, the new telephone number is 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. Please log it in your devices or on your notepad, wherever you keep it, on your refrigerator or somewhere, so that, you know, we can all see each other, talk to each other, and stuff like that. So I'm doing a bit of a test at this moment. Okay. So welcome to the show. Let's see. Alrighty, so just saying good evening to you, and you, wherever you are tuning in from. Okay then. No problem, it works. Good evening.
This is a dry run.
Okay. Thank you.
You good up.
Yes. Okay, no problem. Alrighty. Okay, so we have to work on that. So good evening to one and all. It's now time for the Monday Beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music, locks. Alrighty. So it's Monday and it's the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. And on a Monday, I like to kind of give you a little oomphy. And the oomphy is mixed, is a mixture of music. It's Ladies Music Monday today. And so, but of course, you know, sometimes these ladies, they collab. So you'll hear a bit of that as well. But this is Linkage Radio. I'm your host, Lady D, Denise Gomez. The show is called Inside the Zone with Lady D. So wherever you're tuning in from, don't say you didn't hear. Don't say I didn't tell you. Right? Because I tell you that there's a change in the phone number. It is a good day. Okay then. Here we go. I do apologize for the break in the transmission here today.
And now you're featuring Chaka Demo. Bless him then. Listen.
Don't let them run you over. Stand up and fight back like a soldier.
Real soldier, not tall soldier, you know.
Distract your vision with them skyscrapers.
Hear that?
Oh yeah, first in line to reach the border. I watch it. So make the singer tell you Kingston traffic start out early, else you're not gonna make it. Nobody fake it. Kingston traffic, every man for himself. Water more than flour, for beat the rush hour. It's a Kingston traffic.
Look this. Everybody want the king crown in a king's town. Dropping a barrel of your bread and you bring down. The fact them a spin round. Flipping clown. If you dip on the yard when you dead in a king's town. Down in a Kingston, have you work hard for the income. Lose some and you win some, then build some. them kill some. Hustlers on the street of figure look it now the yacht son. Because of hell if you got none. Inna the
Kingston traffic start out early, else you're not gonna make it. Nobody fake it. Kingston traffic, every man for himself. Water more than flour, we beat the rush hour. It's a Kingston traffic. Oh Lord, how many people want to find a job? Many want food to eat. Youths like the street corners. The devil find work for these.
we never lose faith in the Father. When the time try we dig to find water. On the battlefield with the yak and we a soldier. Road full of traffic but we still not pull over. Inna the
Kingston traffic start out early, else you're not gonna make it. Nobody make it. Kingston traffic, we have to make it. Oh yeah. No scorpion or serpent cannot conquer over all our way. He's given us authority to trample upon the enemy. Suddenly you're gonna see the power of the Trinity fighting there for you and me from now until eternity. Slow you roll
but I hold on just a minute.
before you go.
But I pray that Jah will keep you.
Cause you don't know.
What could never reach you?
In a Kingston city, we full of creativity. In a Kingston traffic start out early, else you're not gonna make it. No gonna make it. Kingston traffic, every man for himself. Kingston traffic. Oh God, yeah.
Yes, a nice vibe on a Monday in the Monday beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here. Earlier, you heard Naomi Cowan and Shaka Demus with Kingston Traffic, and wrapping it up with All My Life, Marcy Griffiths featuring DeVille. Yes, so just want to welcome you to the show this afternoon, the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city. You walk, drive, and reside. Welcome, everyone. If you're on my YouTube channel, can you share the link with someone, please, and let them know great things are happening over here on this platform with yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez. I don't know if you know, but a lot of information is inaccurate, incorrect information is out there, and we always appreciate having Lady Trudy Ann with community and immigration updates. And today, Trudy Ann will be talking about using the correct address on your documents and also realistic expectations. Right? Yes. Sometimes we have some expectations, but they're not realistic on the USCIS end of things. And so Trudy wants to help us out with that, to say, listen, people, don't think that because you think that's how it go, pretty much. So I'd like to say welcome to everyone tuning in. So grab your pencils, your pens, your crayons, your slate, your exercise book. Some of you are still working with your exercise books in your minds. You know, you keep seeing the Dr. Bird on your book and your timetable at the back of it. You remember how they used to drill us with that thing? But we will talk about that at another time. Because if you didn't know your timetable, it was a problem not only to your teachers, but to your parents, your caregivers, and your peers. Timetable was a thing. If you didn't know it, then everybody think you're dunce and you can't count. And did you know that there is a new approach? Let me not say new approach. There was always the right approach in teaching math or arithmetic. But now there's greater emphasis in the schools in Jamaica for children to learn how to do mathematics. Because for everything we do in life, you know, we have to work out something. If it's 2 cans of milk, you have to add 2, 1 and 1. Anything we do in life, we have to. But guess what? It's almost time for Immigration Update with Lady Trudy Ann. Good afternoon to everyone tuning in. Welcome to the feature. Okay, let's see. Okay, I do apologize for that. My system is giving me a little challenge here today. Whatever reason. Alrighty, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm experiencing some technical difficulties here today, and so I will have to make some quick adjustments here in getting you the information, but it's 5:45, so I'm still on time. And so I would just like to welcome you once again. Alrighty, so I do apologize. This clip is not working. Trudy's not able to join me live today because when she joins me live, it's always something interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen,
But I would like to take you to a replay.
with Lady Trudy Ann, and she's back this week with another informative topic here on the segment Community and Immigration Updates with Lady Trudy Ann, aired on Mondays at 5:45 p.m. on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, and Trudy is on the line with me. It's another Monday, Trudy. How you do? How you do?
I'm doing. How you doing?
Good, good, good. While we were chit-chatting before we came on air, you were mentioning about the challenge or pretty much a situation that you have to work through with your students. And it dawned on me that the same thing will apply to the topic that you are presenting this evening. And that topic is family green card and sponsorship, because some amount of preparation and eligibility has to be in place before we even think of it. Isn't that so?
Oh yes.
I tell you, life, to get into this country. So go ahead and share all the information you have about family green card and sponsorship this evening.
Based on the conversation we were having, it's it's always good to kind of like talk to people and get some stuff out.
Mhm,
It clears your head,
mhm.
and make you realize you're not crazy.
Right. I
And
tell you.
you're right. The same thing goes for this green card thing, sponsoring family members. And I want to say one thing before I even start off. People have a lot of information. And when I say that, I mean there's a lot of neighborhood village lawyers. And I'm not trying to insult anyone because I'm sure everyone means the best. Everybody
Mhm,
wants the document, they want to help other people. But we also need to be wary of fear mongers,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
I had a call this evening from someone, and the person called me a few months ago, and I have to repeat the same thing. And I wasn't trying to insult the person's intelligence, but what I was trying to let the person know is think for yourself. So as we begin this topic, what I want people to do is please think for yourself. Just because you may not know the immigration system 100%, it doesn't mean that you can't have common sense and know when somebody's not telling you the right thing.
Yes.
Now, when all these migrants are coming in, are being bussed into the New York, and New York just got bus full of migrants, I think yesterday or the day before.
Mhm.
So the person called me and said, Miss Trudy, can I fly to Florida? Am I gonna get taken off the plane? I'm like, why would you be taken off the plane?
Mhm.
Oh, all these migrants coming in, I'm being told not to fly to Florida. I'm like, but Florida is not another country.
Right.
Would you believe there are people in this country who thinks flying to Florida is flying to another country?
Oh dear.
And I don't understand where they got that from.
Somebody told them that.
Yes, and this is not
False
the first.
information.
This is not the first person I'm hearing with it.
What?
So when I want to say people, United States has 50 states, including Florida. Florida is not another country. Connecticut is not another country. California is 50 states. You can fly to Hawaii and Alaska. You're still in the United States.
Mhm.
And as long as your passport is up to date, you can fly anywhere in the
Anywhere.
United States.
Mhm.
The enhanced ID is for your driver's license, not for your passport. And that still hasn't come into play until another couple of years. So with that said, I'm going into the topic to say, people, be careful of the advice individuals are giving you.
Oh
Now,
my
of course,
goodness.
I'm not going to come on and give you wrong advice. And if I don't know something, I'm not going to speak it. I'm going to say, I don't know, and I'll get information and I'll come back to
Back
you.
to you. Mhm. Which is the
So,
right way.
exactly. So
Mhm.
as it relates to the green card, please, people, if the person was also talking about landing papers, Don't need your landing papers to fly to Florida.
Lord, landing papers was a term we know commonly used for going to Canada, not for the
Yes,
US.
that's the I-94,
Mm-hmm.
right? So people, when the only way the landing papers matter is when you're coming across the border, right? If you don't have your landing papers, you're going to need a waiver when somebody's filing for the green card for you. However, to file for the waiver for you, you need to have some connection to the United States that says if you leave the country, it will provide undue hardship to your family member that's being left behind in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you come across the border, don't mean you're going to automatically get the waiver unless you're filing for asylum, and you need to file for asylum, I think, within the first year or two that you come into the States, not 2-3 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So as it relates to filing for your family member, if you are a green card holder here in the United States and your family member is outside of the country, you can file for their green, you can sponsor them.
Yes.
Now, in another episode, we'll talk about the time frame for filing for for certain family members.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in this one, we're just going to talk about your eligibility in filing for family members.
Okay.
The only family member you cannot sponsor if they're in the United States is your sibling and your child that's 21 and over.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two people you cannot sponsor if they're in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
All other family members, if they're in the United States, that is spouse,
Alrighty, so we get at least some of this information from a previous clip. I must apologize for my not being able to air the one that I really wanted to air, and for the glitch in this one. It's one of those afternoons, but you know how Lady D rolls. The show keeps moving. So good afternoon, 5:53 p.m. Welcome everybody. How are you out there? It's the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know. In the city you walk, drive, and reside. Don't forget the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings, my sponsor, and I have to big them up. They're just in my corner, not leaving me an inch. Stay with me, don't go anywhere. And also, I'd like to just say, because I didn't do it yet, my usual happy birthdays to everyone who is celebrating a birthday this afternoon.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
5 minutes to 6 o'clock. Welcome, everyone. Good day to you. Don't forget, our new telephone number is 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. I have to keep my little note paper right here because my brain, like yours, is already programmed to the previous telephone number. So if I'm not careful, and I don't wish to misinform anyone, 914-297-8911. That's our telephone number. It is 5 minutes now to 6 o'clock. Now, again, welcome to the feature. You know how I do. Sometimes I just roll out some of the things that I had. A Jamaica ting. We haven't done a Jamaica ting in a while. A Jamaica ting food sweet so. Again, I do not have a feature. This is all about conversation between you, the audience, and yours truly. Now, I'm asking the question, success or disaster? What was the first meal you cooked? Success or disaster? So I can share mine, and I'd like you to share yours with me. And don't forget, at 6:30 p.m. will be my interview with Garfield and his wife. So that's Reverend Garfield and his wife, Marcia Blair, authors of Love, Romance, and Marriage, a married couple's guide to finding the peak of romantic love and ecstasy in marriage. So we're going to hear the scoop about that, how much they know. But continuing with the feature this afternoon, success or disaster? What was the first meal you cooked? I would like you to tell me and how it came out. Did it come out good? And don't pretend, because I'm about to share my story. Again, our telephone number is 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. So for me, I was 11. And I was fascinated by how I saw my aunties cooking and the people who worked for us in our home, you know, who would pass and come by and cook. But my grandmother didn't go to the stove after many years. Before I got to Clarendon at age 7, my grandma had stopped cooking because she had contracted malaria, and then other stuff happened and she just couldn't go to the stove. So that aside. So Mama never cooked, but her children did. And other people who they trusted enough to prepare meals for the family cooked. So I was fascinated with rice and peas. I loved to see the grating of the coconut and the squeezing and the finger getting all bruised and chippy or chipped up, right? Or grazed, if we want to use an appropriate term. And I thought I could do it. I thought I had watched them long enough and figured, oh, I can do this too. And so I asked if I could cook one Sunday, on a Sunday of all days, when people like to go all out for their cooking on a Sunday. So my grandmother said, fine, you know, with supervision, I could do the rice and peas. But I said, I can do it by myself. I want to do it by myself. So they watched me. I grated. Nobody said a word. I grated my coconut. The coconut part of it, I got down pat. Believe me. Coconut, grate, juice, not too much water. I was fine. And so I did the seasoning of the pot and thing. That was fine too. However, I didn't know anything. They didn't teach us about no measuring cup or nothing. I watched them judge rice and water. You know, you used your judgment. That's what I'm saying. And I thought I was on target with that. So now, as I poured in my rice and pour on my milk and my thing, put on pot on fire and things moving along, I thought nicely. I kept saying to myself, and they're asking me, how it going, Denise? Nobody, because I say I want that kitchen by myself and thing. Only to realize that there was just a little too much water and not enough rice, too less milk, all kind of something. So me pour rice, dear, boiling with the peas. And I said, but it not going down like how I see Auntie Joy do it and all of that. The thing wouldn't soak in, not happen, not dry out. It there a bubble. And I took my little spoon and test the rice. The poor rice was like cook out. In my head I start to panic, because I said my rice and peas is about to go down the drain. And so I end up, I got my pot holders, hold my pot, drain off some of the, turn the pot drain off some of the water and something, and put it back on the fire, turn it down with the hope that it would simmer. But by then, the damage was already done. It boiled out. It boiled too much. The poor thing looked like rice porridge with peas. It's soft, it's soft, it's soft, it's soft, it's soft, it's soft. So till, I'm telling you, the rice, when you take it up, it just look like oats porridge. It just drop. It just drop. Anyhow, very tasty. So my grandmother had said that with all the time and effort, everybody should eat it. Nobody should frowns up and what have you. Everybody going to eat this thing. And they ate it. It never tastes bad, you know. It did just too soft. Poor rice and peas was a mess. So that was my first encounter with cooking. But after that, they showed me how to do it, and I got it down pat. And I can cook rice and peas. All right, long and short of the story. So if you have your story that you would like to share with me this afternoon in a Jamaica thing, food sweetsa, I would love to hear. Give me a call, 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. But as you know, it's 2 minutes after 6 o'clock, and I just have some brief headlines to share with you. But I would really love to hear somebody share with me about the first time that they cooked. And I would like to take the opportunity to speak with somebody this afternoon. Welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
A pleasant good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Blossom. Good afternoon, Lady D.
Good afternoon, Blossom. How
First
you
time.
do?
I'm fine, thank you. First time calling you on the air.
Oh,
And I loved your program. I've listened to you quite a lot. Let me turn down my radio here.
okay. Thank you.
Yes, lady.
Yes, Blossom.
I my first time cooking rice and peas. What happened? What did I do?
That was the first meal you ever did?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, also have company. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, baby. Yes. Well, my mother was a very good cook,
Mm-hmm.
and my father was a cook, but he knows when things done properly. My mother was sickly and went away,
Mm.
so I saw how my mother did things,
Mm-hmm.
So mommy was not home, and I have to cook. Now we planted rice, so that rice is not easy to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to cook rice and peas.
Okay.
Luckily, all those we have planted, so we had enough. My story is I cooked the peas was cooked. And it was in this big iron pot.
Mm-hmm.
So I put in the coconut and I stirred it up.
You're going
But
in
when
and
the rice-
you're going in and out, Blossom.
Pardon?
You're going in and out. So I'm not
Okay, you hearing me now?
Way
You
better.
hearing me now?
Yes, way better, thanks.
Okay. So when time comes now, I put in the rice. When I put in the rice, it gets mushy because the rice is not like regular rice.
Mm-hmm.
That we have to take it to the mill,
Mm-hmm.
to mill the rice and so forth. Lady, the rice become porridge. And my father, you lucky your relatives said they have to eat it. I could even let them see it.
Mm-mm.
We had a lovely pig by the name of Choice. It was a home pig. So he eat
Oh, God.
everything.
I'm sorry.
And I just cool out the rice and everything and give it to the pig and watch the sun goes down and because we used to go by this how the sun set where it reaches. To follow the day as it goes by to know when they're coming home. So I have to put on a different pot on the stove, and the fire, it was fire, and fire outside. And then put on more peas, get more coconut, and go and do it all over. And I said, okay, let me put it in my head what I saw my mother did. And I put the rice, I didn't measure it or anything. And I put in the rice. And I said, oh God, help me this time, Jesus. Because my father gonna hit me.
Oh no.
He gonna hit me and say, you know, I'm not doing yet. And I'm not learning to do things. So I said, I prayed and I prayed. Like a long story short, I put on everything and, you know, draw the fire and make it the rice. And I said, but this is a iron pot. It's supposed to hold the heat good and get the thing, you know, good. So I pull the fire and put the coal on there. I leave the coal and so forth. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And when I look, I see the thing start to bubble. And I put the fork in and I go to the bottom. I said, no, it's not sticking. But that rice is so hard to cook. Ask any Indian. You have to be a very good cook to cook it. And I put the fork in and I put the fork and fix it so that the water goes down, you know, easy out. And I said, Lord, have mercy upon me now. And it stays there. And I didn't even look at it until when my father came home and said, you cook? I said, yes, Daddy, it's on the fire. Him. From how long? I said, I don't remember, but I leave it until you come so that you can get the dinner hot. I want him to check it out. So, the end of the story, the first set, the pig eat it. The second one, the same day, we had supper. But it was good, but it was not like Mommy Home.
Not like Mommy Home. Well, Blossom, I
Like,
appreciate you
no.
sharing with me because, you know, sometimes you hear we say, oh, we are good cook. But we started somewhere.
Oh,
We started
Yes,
somewhere, man.
I did so much. Yes, I did so much things to get, like I'm fighting to do stuff on my own too. Even on the coal, my first cake I bake it outside with in a pan with the paper over it, foil paper over it, and put thing on foil paper. If you see them, say, Mrs. Paper, but you know, they don't so. So I did a lot of things, but now, Lady B, I'm a good cook.
Oh, great. And you can toot your own horn. You can toot your own horn, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing with me, Blossom. You say it's your first time calling me, but you've always been listening.
Yes, ma'am. I
All
listen
right.
to you all the time.
I appreciate you, so don't be a
Take care.
stranger
Have a good
now.
evening.
Thank you so much for participating. I
Okay.
appreciate you. Great.
Thanks.
So I have company. Hello. It's not me alone. Spoil rice and peas at the first go. Ha. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome. If you'd like to share your story, once again, 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. You can give me a call. But you know, I also wanted to share something. Now, I came across this column that was written by Lisa Hanna. All right, let me just take this call and hear what my audience is saying to me. Good afternoon to you. Welcome. It's the Monday Drive. Food Sweets.
Food sweets.
Darling, how are you? Oh, tens,
Not too
oh,
bad.
tens. What you ups
Yes.
to? What you
Yes.
ups to?
Yes, the first time I go cook a dumpling, my turn I take out, my father used to buy a bag of flour. I go in my kitchen, I take out the flour in the cooking pan. I go in the water, boil. Ready to eat.
Let me hear. Nobody laugh out the story, man. I want to hear.
Me say,
Mm-hmm.
get this time, come and get me. And it's water. Because, you know what? Too much water. I throw it at the floor.
Oh dear. Mm-hmm.
I have to go back in the flower bag to take out more to
Mm-hmm.
bind it up.
Mhm.
Lord, that's it. Don't be in car.
So, well, that wouldn't even be tight. No, that's not tight teeth.
More dry flow. I put more dry flow in a sister and need until it come little, I make it turn like around and drop in the pots and something. Lord Jesus, I say, man, the first dumpling me a cook, you know.
Mhm.
Lord have mercy.
Mhm. I understand. It takes practice. Like anything else, the more we do it, the better we become.
Yes, I know you can cook me dumpling, me cook me right and it well. I watch my mother.
Yes.
I watch. She, my mother not take it, come, you know, come, I show you nothing. You better look and learn to yourself.
Mm,
My Lord, I should come make learn.
that's how you learn.
So I see, yes, I fry the fish, and see how she do the fish, and the bun,
Mm-hmm.
and how she grated the can. Can't you make pudding or dumpling? You couldn't do that. Every grain of the can with a shell.
I hear
And
you,
I don't get,
Hawkins.
and I don't get a flour. You know, you can start looking and rub it, the tongue, get the
Lord, I can imagine. I appreciate you sharing with me. Thank you, Hortense, my dear heart.
Yes.
Alrighty, take it easy. Thank you. Alrighty,
Okay.
bye-bye. Okay, that's Hortense giving her story, sharing her story with us. A Jamaica thing, food sweet, sir. Success or disaster. So I shared my disaster. There was another one. It really, after I started cooking and stuff, but one day I do a good fried dumpling. I don't have to toot horn. I can make fried dumpling. So, someone had poured baking soda into our baking powder can. In the family, some family member, to date we don't know is who. So Denise knead up flour and pour in little baking powder and stuff. And as I put the kneaded dough in the oil, I am like, why these dumplings look like them go raise out of the pot? Something them big like no tomorrow. And when you taste it, Lord have mercy. My uncle was the one. He came in and he said, oh, then you do fried dumpling this evening. It was a Friday. When him taste it, Lord have mercy. One, the dumpling big. Two, him open it, it just fall apart. Three, it couldn't eat. We had to throw them away. So these things happen in the life of cooking, you know? Yep. But just to let you know, the show continues at 6:30 will be my interview in the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. And I'm just saying good afternoon to everyone tuning in with me today. What did I say again? It is what? The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. I had to take you to a little Afro beat, you know, today. Yemi Alade, Body. So, you know, for me, when I'm going to play any of these songs, if they don't have on closed caption, I can't play them. So I read the caption so I understood what this song was saying and what the lyrics had. Yeah. So I don't get surprised. And you know they're good at mixing and stuff, right? you hear it, you have to tap your foot. But yeah, we need to know what you're saying. I see you, King.
And the African body, you know me body, the body, you know me better than the average African body. You know you make me wanna spend all my pounds on you. Jump on your ones and twos, spend all my dollars on you. Yeah, you know you make me wanna give up my dime for you. Girl, I'll dance for you. You. Well, it's a party outside. We feeling good, we wanna live life. Oh, body holding me back. We living like funny line. Yo, you know, say me no get time. Oh no, only positive vibes for you. On you. You know you make me wanna spend all my pounds on you. Jump on your ones and twos, spend all my dollars on you. Yeah, you know you make me wanna give up my dime for you. Girl, I'll dance for you. You. I'm in the body, me better than the African body. You know me body, the body. You know me better than the average African body. Girl with a biggie bam bam, shake it up, let them see what coming down. King of the queens, and you know me not stop. Woman, I still let me breaking down. I'm cause me fire than anybody in a deep place. Deep on another level, you not fear up my race. I'm no time. I'm not time when I say what I'm You know you make me wanna spend all my pounds on you. Jump on your ones and twos, spend all my dollars on you. Yeah, you know you make me wanna give up my dime for you. Girl, I'll dance for you. Body, me better than the other and the African body. You know me body, the body. You know me better than the average African body.
18 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. That's Yemi Alade with Baddie, Baddie. You know, you can just come up with something, right? She says she bad, pretty much. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you. Of course, you know, we were just having the feature on the first time we cooked and how it came out. DL, you didn't cook. What was your story with the cooking? Ryan, what's the story with you? What you said about cooking here now? I'd like to hear this story here today. So somebody had better talk to me. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
I'm not calling to tell you the first meal I cooked as because I can't remember.
Oh, you can't remember. Okay.
But I can tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
It's an art, if that is the word, cooking rice and peas.
Mm-hmm. Share the art.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And let me put a part inside here, especially when you're cooking on a wood fire or coal stove.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole idea is some people other things. Okay, so you have to boil down the peas with coconut juice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get that done first.
Right.
It depends how much rice you're going to cook because the water have to be a certain measurement to the amount of rice put inside here.
Mm-hmm.
You can't boil too fast. You have to tweak the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Or else the water will dry out and the rice raw.
Mm-hmm.
Or the other extreme is that the rice will come out soft.
Poto.
Right, make it. All right. Not necessarily at all. So, it's an art, and I'm saying, when you're using, I would even want to cook rice and peas on electric stove.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Best way to have it on the gas stove. You can tune it, you can tweak it,
Right.
and turn it on the fire.
Mm-hmm.
You see? You know, when you cook on wood fire, you have to draw out my wood.
if too much blazing going on. Mm-hmm. Especially if the wood is really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, when you
Oh, dear.
when you put bamboo inside here.
Lord. Oh, Jesus. I'm just
I'm telling you about
picturing.
my life.
You know.
I wasn't like you. I wasn't like you who have served well four burner gas stove.
I hear you. Boy.
American country, a sweetwood,
Uh-huh.
a sweetwood and bamboo.
Boy.
I use fire.
Lord. But as you're talking, I'm picturing some people that was their life. And so I used to see Gigi and Faity them, turn with the wood and blow and, rub it. And then once it blazed enough, I would see them pull out like one or two.
Yeah.
But after a while,
Yeah,
like
that is what
they put it back. I'm sorry.
When it turns, that is the equivalent to turning down.
No.
That is equivalent to turning down.
So that's the equivalent of the electric stove
Turning on the stove.
or the gas stove. Yes, having to pull out
Turning
the
it on, I
wood.
pull out my wood. As for the coal stove,
Yes,
sometimes depending how much coal you have inside there or type of coal,
right.
it's a fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fire, you have to take out some of the coal.
Yes.
Yeah. And you don't want to put the pot on the cook. You don't want to put the pot there again the coal. You want to put something on top of the stove
Mm-hmm.
to elevate the pot, like with a mesh wire or something like
Or
that.
something like that. You know it, DL.
So get something cross, right?
Yeah.
To keep the pot off of the stove, and you have to make sure you have to put something and shake all the ashes and so forth. Because oh my God, that's life.
It was a lot to do. Using the coal, using the wood fire though, is a whole lot of. It's like your entire body involved in the cooking. Because
Of course.
all of
That's
you
what I'm
involved
saying.
in it,
When it comes to fry.
Yeah, man. Because one is either you have to bend down, angle your head a certain way, and blow. Then when you're blowing,
No, exactly.
when you're blowing it now, you have to so you have to close your eye when to pull back so you don't inhale.
Because my ashes get it.
Oh,
ashes
jeez.
get
It's a
inside there,
whole
and
lot of
sometimes
work.
it's dizzy.
It's a whole lot of
When you
work.
blow, you're dizzy.
A
When you
whole
blow,
lot of
you're
work.
dizzy.
Yeah, man. Sure.
So cooking rice and peas on wood fire is a challenge.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
it is.
You have to-
No,
you have to be very skill.
you just took me back here now because I remember once, as I lived with my aunt in Tollgate. Why is it that when you're doing a good meal, that's when gas decides say it a go gone?
Run out, right? Yes.
So, her husband's cousin, girlfriend, and baby were coming to visit. So Auntie Madge said, Gomez, drop your hand on the mince. No, it wasn't mince. It was because I used to do a wicked mince, but it wasn't mince. It was soup, pigtail red peas soup.
Okay.
So
Man, that's wicked. That's nice.
start up me cooking nice on the gas stove. As we were in the throes of this thing, all of a sudden, whoop, nothing. I'm like, so be there Tollgate now, So me not driving, so they always had coal though. Daddy CP always kept a bag with coal, and so.
Yep.
Me go get me coal stove, put it out in the backyard, and catch up me fire. And me tell you
In
something.
the back.
In this particular instance, it was one of them all bad coal that you could have just trampled it if you could.
Yeah.
There's something
Yeah,
hard
burn.
to, oh Jesus, there's something hard to to blaze, nothing. A fan, a fan, a fan, a fan, a blow, a blow, a blow. Finally, got it to a reasonable, level of
Heat. Yeah.
So me put on the pot, and every minute me have to add more coal. Then me a fan and blow for that set. Oh, it by the time me done with the whole cooking, the lady land reach from town to toll gate, and the Lord had it that I was done shortly. When we say shortly, before they drove in the driveway. You hear me? When Auntie Madge come, she said, "Oh, Gomez, you done cook," because she called me by my last name. All I could say was yes, and I was able to serve the meal, which they just thought was so tasty because it get the smoky scent and taste and
Yeah.
stuff.
Cool.
Listen to me. I was that whole day. So, I had announced that gas went out. So that the CP says, "So how you manage?" I'm like, "The coal." Sam says, "So Gomez," anymore ask more question. I just tell them, let's just enjoy the dinner. I don't even want to talk about this whole episode of how me have to out there and kneeling down outside. Listen to me now, man. Me a kneel down, me a blow, me a take out, me a move, me a pour in more. It was just no.
Yes, that's why I said to you. That's why I said to you, depending on the coal, because depending on the wood they make, sometimes some of them can burn fast and fiery and hot, while some, as in your case, that drag. But let me say this to you finally, and I go.
Mm-hmm.
When you have stove in Jamaica, them time there, you better make sure you have one coal stove, backup oil, you have one burner oil
stove. Right?
You have no way of telling the gas burner. There's no measurement, no meter or anything,
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep your fingers crossed. When you see it start turning yellow, then you know you have trouble.
And to top it off, so my neighbor Bibsy had just, because I didn't start perm here yet, I was still in high school, or almost ending high school. So it was one of those days when we didn't exam going on, and you didn't have to go if you didn't have to do any exam and stuff like that. So Bibsy,
Right.
you know what happened now, to top it off, ladies and gentlemen. Bibsy had just pressed me here the night before. So half of the whole pressing gone, because it's sweating outside in the Jamaica sun, and you doing this whole cooking
Oh, cool.
on coal stove.
Again.
The whole my hairstyle gone, everything. It was a mess, please. And with my hair, I really don't need to do no pressing, but you want being to the height of things, me a press here.
Yeah.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap right now. That's a wrap on,
Okay.
Thank you, DL. You gave me a good laugh.
You're welcome.
All righty, bye-bye. Yeah, well, hi. You have to just laugh at yourself in these moments. But that's a wrap for a Jamaica Ting, food, sweets. And I see some of you laughing here and saying, too much work and stuff. But because you all don't want to share your story. But I'll catch you at another time. For sure. It is now 29 minutes after 6 o'clock. My interview is coming up in a few minutes, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the show. Every now and again, we kind of veer off a little bit, right? Because I believe, like I spoke about radio, and I'm yet to really get into that, about the effectiveness of radio and its relevance. Because people who have come here, say from the 1940s, 30s, people who come here long time, they still have this vivid recollection of radio and how effective it was in their era. But I'd like to go to the phone line and say good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon. Welcome, Lady D.
Hey there, Pastor Blair. Hey, Sister Blair, how are you?
We're fine, thank you.
Oh, nice. You're both sounding nice and clear, which is what I like. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. My guests this afternoon, because they are the buzz, both locally and internationally. Why? Because they have both collaborated on writing a book. And the title rather, of the book cause you to kind of read once or twice. When you see it, you're like, okay, we want to know what's going on here in this book. And I had the privilege of jumping into my Kindle and doing a speed read pretty much because I wanted to talk to them about this exciting story that they have shared about their lives. And I'd like them to say good evening to you, to introduce themselves, where they're from, and then we can start talking. Lady before gentleman.
Good evening, everyone. I am Marcia Blair, the 2022 inaugural prestigious author award winner for top poetry book.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, and I'm from Jamaica
Thank you.
in the Caribbean.
Good evening, audience. The name is Garfield Blair. I am married to Marcia Blair, for you will hear later. And I'm also from Jamaica, and I am grateful to be on this afternoon to share our journey of love, romance, and marriage.
Thank you so much. So much to talk about in so little time. So we start talking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking, and I'm sure we'll be talking this afternoon. People are fascinated by the title of your book, Love, Romance, and Marriage. And I like the tagline, A Married Couple's Guide to Finding the Peak of Romantic Love and Ecstasy in Marriage. Some people are saying, ecstasy, love, but of course, if you have missed out on that, the Blairs are here to catch you up. Now, I want to ask you both the question, have you unlocked the secret? And why did you collaborate on this project? Because it must have been a very vulnerable process for both of you.
Wow. We have collaborated on this work together because we want to bring out the harmony we enjoy. We want to work as a team. You know, when you work alone, it brings about an air of selfishness. And we want to do it together to impact others, because this way we will bring out the power of love.
Hi. Okay. And Pastor Blair, what's your response?
My response is, as a man, we normally hide behind our emotions and we don't express it. So this has been a very good journey for me to collaborate with my wife to put together this wonderful novel that men can look at and extract from it to be better husband in doing so.
Alrighty. I thank you both for your responses. Now, how long have you been married, and when did you realize you married for the right reasons?
Wow, we've been married for 32 wonderful years.
Congratulations. Yes, congrats.
So,
Yes.
appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
For me, personally, I realized that I've been married for the right purpose very early in the relationship. Yeah, despite struggles in the early years, we have been able to connect spiritually. And we have the same passion to pray hard, to serve God, to evangelize, to do His work together. And we have always been on the streets touching people's lives for God. And that allows us to connect in other ways and make the relationship a whole lot better for the glory of God.
Okay, wonderful. And Pastor Blair, because you know the questions apply to both of you.
Yes, thank you. So you heard we have been married for 32 years, 32 long years. And I was married one, for the right purpose because I choose to serve the Lord who will give me the right person. So initially in my discourse of seeking a partner, I asked him, God, I need the right person because I'm only going to do this once. So I prayed, and initially she was my girlfriend at the time. We got saved, came to the church, and at that time we had to separate from each other because it was no girlfriend or boyfriend at the time. It was Garfield Blair, Marcia, Coley. So I decided in my journey, I started to pray, and I asked the Lord, I wanted somebody who will complement what he calls me to do. And as such, he guided me back to her, and as such, we decided to start the journey together. And it has been a wonderful journey with the Lord in spite of the challenges.
So what was it like writing the book together?
Wow. For me, it brought me closer in love to my husband. It makes me feel, more harmony and more warmth. While writing and getting those inspirations from God, it brought me closer to God and closer to Him. It also exposed areas of weakness where I need to improve. So it was not only for others, but it was for us too. And by the time I was through writing the book, I was head over heels in love. My love was rekindled, renewed. Oh yes, I felt so connected to my husband, and as a matter of fact, we did another book in short order after this one because of the overflow of love that was just pumping in our heart.
Oh man, because I mentioned earlier that you must have gone to a very vulnerable place to be able to share what you wanted to in the book, and it had to be a mutual understanding that this is what we're going to do and what is the ultimate goal for the book. So, Pastor Blair, what's your take on that?
Well, one of the things about our expression as human beings, if we can learn how to put our expression in writing, it does a lot to the transformation of our lives. And my wife is a writer. I am a talker. So what we do, we sit, she extracts from my mind and she put it in writing. And one of the things that I enjoy in writing this book is many nights when she was on the computer and I pull out my daybed in the living room, and when she's writing, I said, hey, let's have a wonderful time together. So it brings out this love relationship, our expression, and it also reflects on the hardship, the challenges that we have gone through and still stand together. So it brings me back for an appreciation of who God is and what He has done in our lives, and we're giving back thanks for that.
So, so let's do a little heart to heart. Here are married couples who, in the first year, the first 6 months, 2 years, they start experiencing real challenges in their marriage, poor communication, a myriad of things. And they feel as though they just shouldn't continue. They should never have come together in the first place. How would you speak to that, having written this book, Love, Romance, and Marriage?
Okay, I'll step in first.
Okay.
One of the greatest challenge to married couples is to understand each other. Is to get that place where you do understand each other. Because initially, before you get married, it's infatuation. I don't know if it's love even at that time, but you just head over here. But when you live with each other now, to understand each other is the greatest challenge in the marriage. And that is one of the challenges that I personally have to face, to live with this lady now that I am, going to be living with for the rest of my life. How do I understand her? How does she understand me? And as a result of that, I remember she walked out of the marriage. She left home, went off because she thought that I was too of a aggressive person, my tone and my personality. She tried to understand that and she couldn't, so she ran out, she leave. And I know that this is what I wanted. I wanted a wife. I wanted somebody. She was the right person I believe God gave. So I went back for her. And the scripture that says, who God put together, let no man put asunder. So initially, when it started that first 6 years, that first 3 years, it was rough because we're trying to understand each other. And I think it's the same thing with our Christian walk. When we start to walk with the Lord, to understand this God that you don't see, but you got to trust. And you got to trust His word. So we recognize that was one of the challenges that I personally had to deal with, understanding my wife and my wife understanding me.
Thank you for your honest response. If you're just joining me, my guests are Garfield and Marcia Blair, and they have co-authored the book Love, Romance, and Marriage, a married couple's guide to finding the peak of romantic love and ecstasy in marriage. Chapter 3, I Loved. The beauty of submission, the power of submission, the joy of submission. How was that? What was the collab like on that particular chapter?
Oh, wow. That's easy. In fact, chapter 3 is the topic that really motivated us to write the book in the first place. That is the root of what we really want to bring out to the world, and married couples in particular, because we realize that submission is greatly misunderstood by men and women alike. Men tend to believe it's something to be abusive or controlling and stifle and choke the relationship. And females tend to resent it. They are bitter about it, and they think it makes them a doormat. It makes them less than, ideal. It is humane. And it was not meant for us to be voiceless or useless in the relationship. We want to bring out that submission was really meant by God to harmonize the relationship, to fortify it, to beautify it. If we understand what it really means, it is a really a caring, humble, and respectful spirit a wife carries for her husband.
Yes.
Submission is everybody's business, but the man has to submit to God. The wife submits to her husband. The children submit to their parents. Without even thinking of it, we all submit. You go to the train station, you form a line, you submit to the order, to the rules of the land. So it's really a beautiful thing that causes us to be supportive to each other, to honor one another, to cherish. And by the time you get to the bedroom, to have the romance and the ecstasy, it will be so easy because your heart would have been so warm all day long, the way you honor and treat one another with trust, respect and godliness.
And if I may say, go on, Sister Marcia, I love that. I love how you broke it down. Thank you. Because I think that's where a lot of people are most challenged, coming out of their single life and having to, make their own decisions and so on. And then they come together and they still want to maintain that level of independence, not realizing that, you're going to have to, step back a little bit and give and take, that kind of thing. So I appreciate that. Now, I know the book is not only or doesn't only apply to married couples, but single people as well. How can you speak to those who are single, who are listening to us?
Okay. The book was meant to eliminate the fantasy, the false illusion, that delusional kind of mindset going into marriage. You may have this butterfly feeling every time you hear the man's name called, your heart skip a beat, and you can't think straight, your mind just on him, you're on the woman, all the time. When you get into the married relationship now, that is when you're going to really get to know each other in depth. The things you'll never see
the things you never imagine. You're going to realize those things in each other. Things you like and things you don't like. But how you're going to work through them, how you're going to love in spite of. There will be maybe weaknesses in your husband or your wife where you are strong. Your partner may be weaker. Where he is weak, I am stronger. But am I going to use his weakness to crush him, to humiliate him? Is he going to use my weak areas as a means of walking all over me? Or will he be my strength where I am weak and vice versa? This is where we come chipping out to complement each other, to hold each other's hands. The relationship should bring out the best in each other. When I got married, I didn't have anything to offer him. But along the journey, it propelled me to destiny. It helped me to discover myself more in terms of I become a professional. It helped me to become a nurse. He supported me along the journey with the expenses. Was there when I think I couldn't do it. Days when I would cry and feel like, no, this is not for me. He would let me know that with God you can. This is for you. You're going to stand. When I wasn't driving and he pushed me, you got to learn to drive. You got to do this. It made me a better person over the years and vice versa. And I can see the relationship making us better, making us stronger, making us wiser. So as we grow older and, last longer in the relationship, more of God's glory come out, more of his beauty and his purpose,
Yes.
So I really want people to know that you won't feel that it's a part of feeling. You won't feel that jittery love feeling every day floating in the air. When the rubber meets the road, you're going to have rocky times, painful times. But nevertheless, you're going to learn how to talk it over, how to pray together, how to give and take, how to even give the man time to make mistakes, to learn from them, to overcome them, and not to just be there pushing him or talking down to him, Yes.
Which I believe happens a lot. And I can hear your passion there, Sister Marcia, because, many people really need to be taught the principles of how to communicate and how to give and take, especially if they were raised in certain, societies and so on, and the culture, and both culture in the home and in the community at large. They say what you learn, you live, you learn, that kind of thing. So there is so much, and I believe counseling is also very important. There are some counselors who do an exceptionally good job, and then there are those who don't do so well at that. So, the fact that you're highlighting the critical aspects of what happens if we do not learn how to relate that interpersonal relationship with each other, with God, how things can break down. So I thank you. So we are listening, and many of us are reading. And as we're reading, what are your expectations of us? You have a global audience. Your book is online, and you have it in print. What are your expectations of us as we read this book?
Well, first of all, I want us to go back to God who instituted marriage. And that marriage can be a long-lasting relationship until the Lord decides to take either party home. So my expectation is that if God is author of it, you've got to go back to him to give you the guideline and to fix any crisis that's in the marriage. That's where we want to, that's for me, I'm passionate about the fact that it's God's business, it's God's institution, and he knows how to fix it. You don't have to walk out of that marriage. You don't have to break up that marriage. And so many people have invested so much in building a marriage, building a family, and then at the last bit, it is broken. It is, the children are devastated, and things just never come back to normal. I also believe that when a marriage is broken, everything else is broken. All the blessing that the Lord has in store for your life together is broken. And it's sad because, just like Adam and Eve in the garden. There was a broken relationship with God. But you know something? God never break them up. God took them out of the garden together. And it meant that even God himself do not want to break the relationship. Am I right? If you look at it, God, when they break relationship with God, God didn't break their relationship. God say, okay, you did this, now you go out of the garden. So I'm just saying that to say this, that my expectation is that live marriage, live it to the fullest. Trust God, he can fix every situation and he can make it to his glory and to his honor, the marriage that you want and you want to achieve.
Wonderful. Now, go ahead, Sister Blair.
Okay, I was going to say my expectation is that people globally, by reading this book, Love, Romance, and Marriage, they will be healed, restored, blessed, impacted. Their love will be rekindled, renewed, and they will find the spirit of grace and the willingness to fight for their marriage, knowing that the devil is a liar. Marriages can work. Marriage have worked. Marriage will work and must work under God.
Amen. Powerful. Thank
Amen.
you. And finally, as we are wrapping up, your futuristic plans as a couple in ministry?
Well, one of my dreams is, by the grace of God, I want to travel the world, which I'm doing now, and share our testimony of who Jesus is to us and what he has done for us. And a result of that, married persons, especially in this era of marriage, because I can make it to Sister Blair, I know that anybody can make it, because we have come to the rough side of life, the tough side of life. In our second book, on marriage, you will hear about our story for God's glory, where we have been and what God has done for us. So we are looking forward to touch life for the glory of God, to minister to earthly hearts, and to say there's a Jesus, there's a God that can fix, rearrange, and perfect that which he started.
Wonderful. Your comments, Sister Blair?
Amen, amen. Same thing here. Together we have the same willpower, the same passion, the same heart. We want to have global impact as we travel the world. That's why we have the book on Amazon and Amazon Kindle, so that people from across the world can read the book, can be impacted by it. We just want to help married couples in every forum, every opportunity, just spread God's love, just impact lives, see lives transformed and renewed. This book is a means of holding each other's hands. We all want to make it together. We don't want to leave our brothers and sisters behind. We don't want to leave a hurting couple, a hurting family. We're not saying that our marriage is the best or it is perfect. We are saying, how can we form a common bond of love together, that we hold each other's hands across rivers, across mountains, across our Red Sea, that we can make it together in love. And at the end of the day, we all will rejoice and give God the glory. Amen.
Amen. Beautiful. Garfield and Marcia Blair, co-authors of Love, Romance, and Marriage, a married couple's guide to finding the peak of romantic love and ecstasy in marriage. We could listen to you all evening, and I'm hoping to be able to have another interview with you on that other book that we've heard of. So I'm looking forward to that. To wrap up this segment, there is a fun segment, Brother and Sister Blair. It requires, so I have a listing of words here that I would like you to provide one-word answers only. You can alternate as you see. You can alternate as you see fit. Are you ready?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, we are.
The first one, love. Are you there?
Yes, Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
So we need to make a word.
So I
out of
give
the word love.
I give you yes, I need one word responses. Love, what's your one word answer to that?
Cherish.
Marriage,
Commitment.
family,
Enjoyable.
So, Sister Blair, where are you in all of this? Here is. Okay. Here is the other one, and I still need one word: love, romance, and marriage.
Harmony,
Wife,
support,
husband,
leader,
commitment,
responsibility,
passion,
love,
God,
Great.
travel,
Experience.
nursing,
nurturing,
motivation,
inspirational,
support,
unity,
and finally, Jamaica.
land we love, paradise,
Lord,
paradise.
I love that. Alrighty, that was good. Thank you so much. You were great, both of you. You're a team, and your aim, I believe, is to bring everybody up. Bring us up.
Oh, yeah.
Right, is to bring us up. Yes. So thank you both for joining me, and I'm looking forward to another discussion with you. And I'm sure at that time, you would have acquired even more experiences that you can share with us. Again, tell everyone how they can acquire a copy of your book.
Okay, you can get a copy of our book, Love, Romance, and Marriage, on Amazon and Amazon Kindle.
All right.
And locally in our country, Jamaica, it's across several bookstores.
Okay.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you so much. I enjoyed this segment with you, and I wish you a lot of blessing.
And thank you for having us again. We appreciate it, Lady D. We love you and appreciate it. God bless you.
Bless you too. Thank you. All righty. Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Garfield and Marcia Blair, authors of Love, Romance, and Marriage. Get your copy today. I have mine on Kindle, so I can just swipe and read. Easy as that. I had a good afternoon, hoping you did too. Don't worry about me and the blowing of the coal. Yeah. Oh. Jan, you can get the book on Kindle. You need a hard copy? You can go on Amazon, man, and just do what you do. Yes, you can go on Amazon, or I can connect you with him, and you can get your copy today, as they would say in those ads. Thank you so much for joining me here on the show, Inside the Zone Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city. You walk, drive, and reside. I'm not too sure where you're walking, where you're driving today, but I know you're somewhere around the place, getting busy, being busy and all that. But I had a good time being here, and I'm looking forward to being back on Thursday with Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you, and you, no matter where we go, what we do, how we do, why we do, and when we do. Coming up next will be, of course, Pastor Isaacs, and he'll be taking you to that glorious place. So blessings to everyone. Thanks to my sponsor, Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, everyone. And don't forget to be safe. I aim to do the same. I'm going to go home now. I am going home. They said, dark yourself up, Denise. Go on up. Galang up. I tell you, I used to walk about, walk all about penance. Have mercy. And I enjoyed my childhood. So, blessings to everybody as I go on to walk boat now. But blessings to you. Mwah. I'm out of here.
Located at 1802 Near the Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing. Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezonelyc@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592. This is Lady T, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com.
Oh, plead my cause, oh, Jah. I don't know what you next I represent for Linkage Radio. 104.5 FM. I def them.
New York, I introduce the best ice cream factory located in Mount Vernon, 408 East San